Howdy Chunky, this is the Voice of Reason with an exclusive for you. Tomorrow, Prixtik Patel, little pretty Patel, she has finally done a deal and she's got a resolution, a solution. She's got the answer to the crisis that is a bigger problem than, of course, Ukraine. As we know, about 2,000 or less people from Ukraine have managed to make their way to the shores of England, even though they are war victims. They are seeking asylum under the guise that they're being bombed to shit, yet nobody seems to care. We've indeed, as we brought you exclusively earlier at the Voice of Reason, got proof that we've given the deal to the French, who don't have access to Home Office records, so therefore can't process anyone. Only Boris Johnson would have the genius to slow the whole system down by giving the gig to a foreign company who can't access British files to see whether these people can come. It's brilliant. That's why less than 2,000 people have come so far from Ukraine to our shores. Meanwhile, 4,000 dinghy divers have arrived here on the coast of Dover. What are we going to do with them, as that's now over 40,000 in the last 14 months, something like that. We're spending £5 million a day. The maths are staggering. 100 days into the year. You don't need to be a mathematician. Alex! Your friend Diane here. Recently. Alex, you've asked me to work out £5 million a day. £5 million a day. There's 422 days in a year. That is times the dinghy divers of 38,000. £5 million a day times £432,000 a week. Alex! How much? Here we go then for a Tuesday morning and an exclusive for you. We are officially going to send the dinghy divers to Rwanda. This sounds like a joke. Now, as you know, I was a big star in the Masai Mara. I used to entertain the giraffes. They're a long pink thing with spots. Yes, that's something similar, Tarquin. And I used to be very big in Nairobi. That's East Africa, in Kenya. I was very big there. Well, that isn't where Rwanda is. No. Rwanda is a place where we have done a deal, and apparently the reason Prixtik Patel has been so shushy over the last few weeks is because she's done a deal with their government to ship the dinghy divers, mostly of which are nearly all men, as we know. A lot of them have beards and are post-pubescent, despite the, of course, will of the lefties to give them puberty blockers. They're in their 30s, many of them, and still in schools, pretending to be 12 years old, trying to get an education. Anyway, that's not why you called. You see, now President Biden is doing the same. Did you know that? He's knocked down the wall of Trump, because Trump's evil. Trump's terrible. We must knock down the wall. And then all these people flooded in. Now, they were living under bridges for a long while. Well, we don't like that, so that he's doing the same. He's putting them in a plane and then fuck right off to somewhere else. It's genius. So now Prixtik Patel, and this has nothing to do with Boris, by the way. In fact, last time that she managed to get a deal, he managed to cock it up by press releasing it before. It's almost as if maybe somebody in the household has associations with national newspapers that she's quite close with. I'm not talking about Miss Carey, of course. Totally unrelated. Nothing to do with the leaking of private government information to certain editors of certain newspapers. Now, as you know, the Rwandan for please come here is Asadiga Ibawai. That's Swahili. Asadiga Ibawai means please come here, dinghy divers. And they're more than happy to take them. We're going to spend a lot of money, but it can't be more than £5 million a day, which is what we're currently spending on various Premier Inns across the country, Park Inns in Glasgow, and of course the Ritz and Claridge's in London, because we're running out of rooms. Sadiq insists that they're treated well. Last week we found out, didn't we, that we can't put them into barracks anymore. No, Napier Barracks has to be closed. Got to get rid of Napier Barracks. It's good enough for our soldiers, but not good enough for dinghy divers who come here. As you know, we had a T-shirt at Christmas that sold very well. Dinghy divers are not just for Christmas. Well, they're not. They're coming again. 4,000 deep so far this year. They're still coming across 10 to the dozen. And as we know, the RNLI that were designed and a charity set up to save drowning babies in Bournemouth, well, now they're the taxi service to get them off their little dinghy rafts, which can cost up to £10,000 a place. If you get an oar. Talking of alls, I'm going back to Las Vegas soon because I can't go to Spain, so fuck them. Anyway, that wasn't why you called. So yes, these dinghies, we don't worry about who sells them the place for £10,000. You know, these criminals who are importing these dinghy divers. Well, now let's see how willing they are to come to England when they know they're going to be shipped on Pan Am. They'll be sent on a Fokker 100 to little Rwanda. This will be fun, and they'll have a lovely time eating warthog and kale in the middle made myself laugh with that one. In the middle of the Masai Mara, they're going to have a lovely time. And I'm sure that their intention was to escape war and appalling places, not to end up here living at the Ritz-Carlton somewhere in Grimsby. You know, imagine finding yourself getting off a dinghy and being put on a bus and finding yourself in Hull, for example. You know, well, second only to Rwanda. So that's the deal. It's an exclusive. I'm making fun, but tomorrow she's going to announce it. Our lovely little Priti Patel, little prickstick herself, is going to announce that we're sending the dinghy divers to Rwanda. Thank God for that. Now, can we have our Premier Inns back, please? I want to sleep next to Lenny Henry on one of those nice mattresses, because if it's not perfect, you get a refund.